Okay, I have here a Secret Spirits Glencairn glass. I have here a sample, and I can't read it. No, I can't. I'm not looking at it. I have here a spoon. I have here a tall glass of cold water. I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's go. Secret Spirits Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar, 6th edition, day number 7. That would be this one. I'm getting better at reciting what this is. Okay. Let's pour the whole kit in there. Now let's put it down sideways. And do a little bit of an anaconda. See what the snake tells us in terms of, oh, you know those things called droplets. Slow, 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 slow. These are excessively slow. They're forming and coming down once they form. They're not huge droplets, and they take a while to form. I'm going to say this is pretty strong. Doesn't smell too strong on the nose. But you know, sometimes they can fool you. They can be very high ABV, and no, on second thought, looking at this again, they are thin legs and they move fast. Ah! Right away it's fruity. It's fruity. Apples, pears, green grapes, light green grapes. I'm getting a malty note. I'm getting, oh, what is that? There's definitely some vanilla hiding in there. And there's some caramel hiding in there too. But it's covered up by a great big fruity cap that's sort of burning through and maybe wants to move aside a little bit. We'll have to give it a bit of time to do that. I should. And cleanse my palate with a great big gulp of water. It's very nice. I'm getting some chocolate. Milk chocolate. maybe some tannins. I cannot tell you. Yeah, it's probably about 43% ABV. Just looking at these legs again and how fast they come down. I expect it to be not necessarily viscous, but to have an alkaline, slippery mouthfeel. But I don't know yet. Going by the way things have gone so far in this series, this could be a bourbon barrel, this could be ex-sherry, or this could be unknown, undetermined. Could be a blended malt. I don't think there's any grain in here at all. I think it's that's possible too. There might be some grain, but it could be a high malt content grain. No, I think, wow. Blind tasting is so hard. Blind nosing is hard too. It could be some grain in here. Yeah, could be some corn. Now here we go, hopping down another rabbit hole. I'm getting a sweetness that could be from corn. But as soon as you start jumping down rabbit holes, that's when you can just keep going and keep going and get yourself more and more lost. And it's such a big danger of doing so with blind tasting. It's incredible. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of that corn sweetness. So I'm gonna say it may be a blend. I'm gonna hedge my bets and say it could be a blend. Yeah, the deeper I go. And yeah, if it's a blend, it's possible that it's even as low as 40% alcohol by volume. Because I'm getting no alcohol burn at all, and those legs are liking to come down and be thin. It's definitely high quality, even if it may be a blend. But the first thing that hit me at first was fruits, apples and pears, and those light green grapes. Okay, now that I've nosed it to death, I'm probably not going to change my mind as to what it is. A lot of flavor for a blend. Still, I'm getting some of that corn husk. Some of what I would typically expect to get in a Canadian whiskey. But there is quite a tingling on the sides of the tongue and on the tip of the tongue. Getting some vanillas. I'm getting a little bit of youth. There's a slight metallic note to it. The fruits fade awful fast. The finish doesn't hang on that long. Second sip. But it seemed to have a lot of flavor at first, when I first put it in my mouth and when I first swallowed it. And there's a bit of a, I don't know, a little bit of a hug down the throat too. I could be completely wrong about the ABV on this one. I could be completely wrong about everything. It's like a sheet. It's like from some angles, it's like looking at the northern lights. Like from there, it looks like the northern lights. Oh, 11 minutes and it does have an endearing nose. There's some caramel, some corn husks once again. Some vanilla hiding underneath that fruit once again. It's there, and there's some butterscotch. But then there's that corn husk, that sweetness note, that, whoa. Let's do it again. It reminds me a little bit of a Strathyla I had once. There's that, I can't describe it as anything but a flat, fruity taste. A flat, fruity taste. It's like ripe, overripe apples. They're almost, getting mushy. And I don't think the ABV is very high. It's not burning, but there is a now on the nose. I'm getting milk chocolate again. Even though it may be, but I'm not certain. It may be a blend. It's quite a complex blend. And the more I sip it, the more I'm convinced that I know at least what type of whiskey it is. There's a coating on the sides of the mouth that stays there. It's quite dry. But then the finish, it just turns dry, and that's it. Should I try with a bit of water before I reveal what this is to myself and to all of you? Although you may have been able to peek it when I showed the label, which I didn't look because it was behind my hand. The label was between my hand and the camera, so I didn't see it, and I didn't really peek to the screen. to see what it was, because I didn't want to. Otherwise, I would have said, bang, it's this, bang, it's that, bang, it's that, bang, it's that, bang, it's that. I'm not about that. I'm more about the journey, taking my time, learning as I go. Now, okay, the water has taken a lot away. The water has calmed down that little edge of harshness that was there before. I'm still getting corn husks. I'm still getting some caramel, vanilla. I'm not getting so much of that chocolate note. Still tastes good, but it does taste watered down. Okay, what is it? Pour the last of it into the glass. Okay, it is. What is that symbol? The top? I can't tell what that symbol is. It looks like a porthole with pieces of wood covering the porthole. It's a blended malt Scotch whiskey. It's Scallywag. Ha! Plain old Scallywag. It's a sherry cask from Speyside. Its Scallywag is what, 46%? Scallywag. And I was sure there was some grain in there. So this is from Douglas Lang. Here I was focusing on. I knew it wasn't a single malt, but I was certain that it was a blended Scotch rather than a blended malt Scotch. But it's close. Scallywag. Yeah, blind nosing and blind tasting is so much more difficult than, excuse me. Well, I was getting some chocolate off the sherry cask. There you go. And I was getting some of those flat, very ripe apple notes. Oh, this was very good. This was a lot of fun. And now I nose it again and I go, of course. It's like that power of suggestion where you just have to have something pointed out to you and you go, aha, there it is. But if you approach it from a blind nosing and tasting, it's much more difficult because you don't know where you're coming from. You don't know where it is. Usually when I'm tasting whiskey, I start with a low alcohol by volume first. So I'll start with 40%, and I'll move, maybe the next whiskey I taste that night will be a 43, then a 46, then a 48. And by that time, after I've had 4 whiskeys, that's enough for tasting. But here, I'm going straight in to the 46%. This was fun. And yes, now that I'm nosing it again, I go, of course it's Scallywag. What else could it be? Hindsight being 20/20 vision and all that. So they put in some single casks and some hard to find and exotic whiskeys, and then they take a garden variety Douglas Lang blended malt and throw it in the middle of the mix and say, "Here you go, buddies." Choke on that. Thanks once again, Jonathan and Cindy. This has been a pleasure. I'm enjoying this trip a lot. Slanchava.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.